Our guest is going to think today's show is 20 years in the making and try to hijack it off relationships.
I was getting in trouble with some stuff. I had some stuff going on. I got some trouble. But I got to learn the industry really well. And I think, the fuck you talking about? Like fucking American Pie? Like was literally what I said. It got out of hand sometimes.
The truth is, it's still a human optimization show. And today's show is on sexual health.
And as I was on the phone with you, I lost control of the wheel. The car spun a bunch of times. As I was in that vehicle, I'll never forget, I thought I was dying. I thought I was gonna die. Like there was no like, hey, I was like, all right, man, you did it this time. And I put my hands up. And I was drunk because they were feeding me tequila all night and I didn't care. Put my hands up, car spun, flipped 13 times over a guardrail. I remember being on the other side of the guardrail the way I was going. It's going the opposite way. Somehow, by the grace of God, whatever it was, my head right in the windshield, got in the car, somehow was walking around like nothing, like hammered. And somehow also the keys, because back in these days, they actually had keys that you put in your car ignition. I know that's for the people born in the 1900s. I think that's what they're saying about us now, right?
I'm sure.
And somehow the keys flew out of the ignition. Cops came out. I'm like crazy. Called you. You came out there. Pretty much made me go to the hospital because they were like, they're going to arrest me if they weren't going to go to the hospital. You were like, you need to go to the hospital. And I almost died that night, but somehow, not only did I not die, but I got out of the car almost like it didn't happen, which even freaks me out to this day. Like I still don't understand how that happened. Because as fast as I was going, as much as I spun out, as much as my head hit that windshield, I'm surprised that I'm here with the same cognitive function that I have, which, you know.
The part of the story I remember was the hospital and manipulating the cop on the scene.
Yeah.
Well,
that was just.
I do remember. Wow, she was ready. She was going to arrest you if you didn't get in that.
I remember.
Yeah. I need 10 minutes.
Yeah, you came as fast as you could.
Hold on to this one, and she settled down on that spot, and I kind of calmed her down, and we had that conversation, and I told her, listen, you're gonna give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna settle this down. He'll get in the thing, and we'll go from there. Mm-hmm. There are things always sometimes in the excitement that I think sometimes when you have your rise, people don't recognize what you overcame to get to that point, or how that was set up. We always go through it must be nice.
Yeah.
And you'll always get that. And I'm sure to this moment you still get that. And I'm sure the social media shit is he's doing this or he's doing that or the money came with this or he's doing that or you're famous on this and it must be nice. And I really sometimes wish you don't really know everybody's struggle to get to that particular point.
For sure.
And that was something, for me, I had recognized at a young age, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes if you're handed everything, the resiliency doesn't come with it.
Yeah.
So they're not really ready to bounce back.
Yeah.
They've been kind of handicapped their whole life.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
Frank is like, you know, when you moved to LA, like, I had to start all over. Like, it's not like it is now where there's the social media content creator thing, right? So when I moved from Florida, I came there with 500 scenes under my belt. When I came to LA, I got my foot in the door to a degree, but people weren't like signing off on me.
Right.
I didn't really sign, like, no one really like saw me as that guy until I would say 8 to 10 years ago. But like, think about it, I was around for 20. I'm almost around for 20.
Right.
So it took me like, it took a while of hard work and effort. I just didn't show up one day and they were like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, that's not what happened.
That and the nominations show up as well.
Yeah.
Or what it's like to be a performer. So
it's always the work you put in when no one's watching. You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to, right?
I'm glad you brought that up. So let's go into the training part.
Yeah.
There were adjustments putting programs together for you because I had to recognize, and the audience is going to laugh at this one. Yeah, he's a pro athlete. And I know what that sounds like, and I know the jokes that are going to come with this next, but the demands to be ready every day.
Yeah. I can't deal.
It's similar to an in-season professional athlete who's playing all year round.
I mean, we've done the PRs, man. Like, I think we got up to like 340 at one point, and I was like $160, right?
But even the programming.
But what I'm trying to explain is like, yeah, dude, like we were doing that stuff, and then we realized through time, I was getting hurt, and things were hurting me that shouldn't be hurting me, like back, hip, thoracic, chest. Like things were like, because of the level of energy that I put into the job to be as good as I can be, I I have to be more proactive in understanding what I could get away with in the gym.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I always promote, we'll call it non-exercise activity. But when your job entails planking for an hour while they're yelling cut 3 times, it usually leads to a different amount of issues. Also,
the angles, like I'm doing something that completely off kilters my hips.
the rotation.
So like I'm rotating from away. Like I'm not at home going straight on. You know, I'm going to the left, going to the right. Usually the left. You know.
In other words,
I just fucking.
In other words, he's basically telling you
Everything's
there's a
angled.
new sport.
Yeah.
You have to recognize the level of intensity,
Yeah.
high degree on the central nervous system. It's called co-ed naked twister.
Yeah. So, and they, you know, and as I've been in the industry, the time allotted has grown. So when I first got to the business, generally most scenes were around 20 to 22 minutes, where now some of them are like 30 to 45 minutes. So you're not also keeping in mind that like sometimes you're shooting stills. So you'll shoot photos and then you stop for 25 minutes and then you got to get back in there. And then it's also like, you know, there's, depending on who you're with or what you're doing, there's stop and go. You got to be, it's not just about me.
Right. No,
you know?
Right.
So there's a lot of things you got to be more prepared for to make, you know, sometimes you got to pick up slack. Sometimes the other person works well with you. You have to be prepared for whatever. You know, you don't know what you're dealing with.
Right. So we're going to call that a performer and performance.
Yeah, exactly.
Same way as an athlete would.
Yeah. Or it could be like, or you could look at it as more like an intense athlete or an intense dancer, because it's technically a dance. What we do, I feel that act in general, whether it's on camera or not, is a dance.
Right.
There's a synchronicity to it to make it good.
In essence, even when you're training, you don't want to wear yourself out. You leave something in the tank.
Yeah, I have to.
The idea is right. That's really what I'm trying to get.
I mean, it took us a while, but like the protocol we're on now, I think right now I'm probably in the best shape of my life. Not getting hurt, not getting injured. I look better than ever. Physically, I feel better than ever. And I think it took a while to dial that in because we didn't know like what we have to base it on. How intense is tomorrow's thing going to be?
Right. Well, the one thing I think that really aided in that was, believe it or not, COVID.
Yeah.
Because COVID, I had a chance to see what it was like for you rested all the time.
Yeah.
You weren't working as much. There was no work at the time. California shut down.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then we were able to do that because we're doing, I think I was at-home workouts twice a day for 4 months, 5 months. At that point.
It's funny because I actually wrote a manual on that I still haven't put out yet.
Yeah.
But I would
that was
love
a joke. It was like 2 weeks into COVID. I'm like, hey, you want to make a little bread?
I didn't think this.
How about you FaceTime me every day?
This was going to be continuous, right? But it really turned into a business for me during COVID. I will not lie to you.
Can I talk about the synchronicity of your stuff? How we've been connected somehow since the gym stuff?
I'm sure that's going to get interesting. Go ahead.
Oh, generally.
Yeah. Okay.
So I remember that's how we met. We worked at a gym together.
Right.
You took me on, as we always joke around, as your test dummy.
Well, I want to explain this to the audience real quick. I did my first undergrad in management and finance, and I worked in accounting the first 2 years. And I realized right away, I'm not doing this shit for the next 25 years. This isn't going to work, right? It's not that I couldn't have. I just felt like there was more to life.
Yeah, and also you were very, you loved football. You played football.
I was playing arena in the afternoon.
You had passion.
And still trying to get to the league, yeah.
You always had passion for this. You always had passion for it. Man, I remember being like 19 and you being like, come on, we're going to run sprints.
Everywhere. Yes.
Every day.
I was trying to run every day, everywhere.
That's the thing, though. It's crazy because, like, dude, we came up together,
Right.
We learned this whole thing together, right?
Uh-huh.
It's just such an interesting dynamic because we look at our lives and it's so different, But we still have that bond, right? But what I was trying to talk about was like, I remember where as things kind of were falling apart. I don't remember. I think management was like trying to the guy there was trying to pull a fast one. We're like,
well,
we
that and
here.
Between you and me, I knew I wasn't going to be that long.
Yeah, it was.
I had this goal in my head.
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to book out from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. and then I'm fucking out the door.
But yeah, there was a gym in Plantation where I grew up most of my life, where I was like, dude, this gym's awesome. I go there all the time.
I'll always remember this.
And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, no, it's a great gym. It's like, I don't know. I guess I love that gym. And I was like, come in, let's just go in there and check it out. We walk in the door and then you end up being there for how many freaking years?
I didn't want to walk in actually, and we just got done running. And I always remember this story because I walk in and he's like, walk in like that.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to hire me sweating looking like this. He's like, I walk in. Yeah, wouldn't even be Friday.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, walked
They
right,
hired me before I left.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
right through the gate. And then, you basically
2,000 sessions that first year. Yeah.
and then you built
Right
a
off
new
that.
life, a new network.
Right off that.
And then years later, I'm in Hawaii, and I'm like, come out. I had at the time I was getting married or whatever at that time, and come out. And you were like, hey, I know this guy. You should check out his gym. And then you met that guy from coming out to Hawaii, and then now you're working.
It's funny.
From there. It's like it's so.
So I left the previous company, and it's really funny. And I had all these offers.
Yeah.
I left on a Friday.
Yeah.
And word got around by the weekend. By Monday, I had 12 offers.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't going to apply to anybody till Monday. By lunchtime Monday, I had 12 offers. I didn't even send out an application.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, this might fit what I want, and it was UFC. And I remember we're out there, and shout out to Keller.
Yeah.
We went out to.
Thanks, by the way. You hooked me up when I was out there.
And we're out there in Hawaii, and I said, listen, yo, can you get me in these clubs to work out? Man, before I even sat down, just because of the vibe, I had made the decision.
Yeah.
It was just as simple as that.
Well, that's
Yo, by the time I sat to dinner with him, and I pushed him, yeah, we're going to dinner. And he said, how about Monday night? And I said, okay, cool. And I remember you guys all went to, man, I missed out on the steak at the Four Seasons, huh?
Yeah.
No, jeez. But we had a good time.
Yeah.
So,
but also, and it's crazy how just all that, I talked about this, I really do believe something higher brought us to each other.
Yeah.
But you kind of reverberate. It's like everything comes from higher, right?
Right.
But I just feel like sometimes there's something that's so obviously brought by it, and there's some things that are like you realize everything is, but some things are like you're making it so obvious that this was meant the bond and relationship, brothership supposed to be there.
I think everything is written, and to me,
I agree.
everything is kind of like, yo, it's one thing or another. Let me say it kind of like this. Everybody's in life, whether for a long term or short term.
Yeah, it's either a lesson or a gift,
right?
Right.
And by the way, some people could be there for a minimal amount of time, but they're there to take you to the next stage.
Yeah, to teach you,
right? Whether they're teaching you something or they're giving you something.
Yeah.
What exactly they're giving you is a different trait, a different characteristic, maybe even a different outlook.
For sure.
And then you roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. No, people pop in in the right place.
I agree.
Right? It just seems to feel like the same people that lead you to success lead you to success.
Okay, let me put it this way. I think through time I've realized that we weren't putting each other's life as a lesson. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, to teach each other's lessons, but the lessons that we're referring to more like the short, long term. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I usually give the line on this show, and so you understand this. My father told me the greatest investment was the investment in human capital. And we've had this conversation before where I'll talk about the table.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I just cultivated people and put them at the table.
Well, and I think that's really what it is. The biggest value in life are your relationships.
Well, no, I think sometimes those people weren't that hitter yet, but they had all the pieces.
For
right?
Sure. And you saw something.
You just kind of led them to the water. They drank the Kool-Aid and it was on after that.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I think that's what I mean. Like you're building relationships, whether it's always building relationships in people that you see want and will put the action in to do more, that you mentor, or you go into people that you don't want to be the smartest guy in the room. So you want to either be with one.
That's exactly what it is.
You have these people here that you help.
Right.
And then you have these people here that you learn. Because if you just having fodder doesn't really grow life.
That's not how. Okay. So I think, and really what he's saying is the lesson here. When you're lost, you pick somebody to mentor. When you mentor and you give back, you realize your principles.
Exactly.
You educate, you teach, we run on those principles, and there we go. Mm-hmm. Right? So I don't care what field they were. Did I love that you made this decision to roll this way? No, I didn't.
I know.
But you know what? You were going to be fucking best at it because that's just how it was going to work.
Yeah.
And I always remember a conversation we had about 9 years ago. You got fucking 10 years in the game left. What you going to do next? And you said, without a hesitation, direct. Get the fuck out of here. And I remember the conversation, and I remember, okay, what are you doing to get to that goal? Well, I did this, and I'm looking at this, and we're going to go to this, and I'm going to do that. I'm a big believer in a plan.
Yeah,
what
you
the
need
fuck
goals.
is your plan?
You need goals.
No, okay, revamp the plan 60 times. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? Revamp it 70 times. I don't care. But I got a plan. I'm going to leave A, B, C, D, and E. When I get to towards the end, it may not look like this, and we may have to revamp it one more time.
Yeah.
But what is it?
Yeah.
Right? And I don't think anybody chases anything anymore. So there is no question of what's next. You were not going to be allowed to pop champagne and just roll. This was never going to work like that.
No.
So what's next? How do I control the game? Right?
Exactly.
Okay. There was some kid in the studio, 22 years old, locked down New York with a production company within a year. Why? Because you looked behind the camera what the fuck everybody else was doing.
Yeah.
Why is he making more money than me? Let me not complain. I need to learn the game.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's like if you want to do something, from my experience, when I want to do something, I put the action in. If I don't know something, I'm going to learn everything I possibly can about it to an obsessive degree. It's one place where I feel like having an addictive personality like actually serves me, right? Because I'm one of those people that the way I'm built is that if I get into something, it's to an obsessive degree. I can utilize it now in a balanced way where I'm like, okay, I need to learn as much as possible about this. I need to find the best people who know how to do this, and I need to be willing to put the work in around it so I bring mutual value to those areas of my life. And I feel like with that type of action behind the scenes, you start to see results. And I think that's with anything in life. That's been my experience, at least. It's like, I'm willing to go, I'm not going to sit there and walk in a room and be like, I know all about that, if I don't. I'm willing to say I don't know. I think that's important. You can't walk in a room thinking you know everything when you don't know shit.
And shout out to Hugo, but I walked in the studio and I asked to sit in the corner over there.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to take notes. Okay?
Yeah.
And 90 seconds before I got behind the microphone the first time,
yeah,
this motherfucker pulls out a chair and a microphone and says, no, you're going to sit over there.
Yeah.
And then interviews me. And
that's the thing. I'm still learning. I'm still learning every day. Like, even as a director, sometimes as a performer, like, I've been doing this, so many years, but I'm not too arrogant to think that there's something new I can learn to implement, because at the end of the day, like, there's always something. I could be a master to so much of a degree until there's still more that I can utilize to learn, because things change. The entertainment industry's changed. The way things are sold has changed. The way things are processed are changed. The way the psyche works changes. You have to learn to go with the energy of whatever that is, especially in that field, especially in any entertainment field.
Tell me another question. So let's start with morning routines.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Morning routines. Well, my perfect day of a morning routine, and I don't do this perfectly and I don't do this every day, but since 2020, I've been journaling. Not the way a lot of people think of. I don't just grab a book and just start writing everything in my head. I have this actual 5-minute journal that I actually got on Amazon, which I've been constantly rebuying over time because I love it, because it's exactly what I need to hear in the morning or tell myself in the morning.
Okay.
It's write down things I'm grateful for, usually like 5 to 10 things. There's do about 4 to 8 affirmations, I am statements. And then the other one, which I really find is to be really helpful, is what could I do today to make today great, right?
Okay.
And then I try to utilize those things during that day. And then I actually do it, that thing also coincides tonight, because it's like, what could I have done better today? And that's also like, what could I do better today is what I put at the end of the night, and what did I do great today? So at least I can find balance in like how I can be better and also giving myself some credit. Right, because it's like I'm the type of person throughout my life always was too hard on myself, so I have to figure out ways to retrain my brain for that. But then, so I do the journal. I try to at least meditate for 5 to 10 minutes a day. Don't always get to it, but I'm always.
Is it transcendental or?
No, I think just a lot of times it's just box breathing, and I do a lot of breathwork meditation. So I do that.
Is that Wim Hof or?
No, it's 3-part breaths.
Okay.
It's they say it releases DMT in your brain. DMT is obviously, it's a known drug, but it's also something that gets released when you die.
Right.
That's why you get that, that's the idea of it. And it's very transformative. It can remove trauma, help heal, help you can get into a joy state, like a blissful state. So I love doing that. I don't do that in the morning, but I try to do that like 4 times a week. There's classes I go to, which is awesome. So that keeps me kind of more grounded. I have a vitamin routine that could rival any vitamin routine that ever is made.
Yeah, I think we want to hear details, so continue.
So I do that. I have a green juice I drink in the morning. I always make 4 eggs and 4 pieces of bacon.
No, I'm serious. I want to hear the fucking vitamin routine.
Oh, God.
You're kidding me here.
Well, yeah, but I'm just going through the morning routine, and then I'll run through the vitamin routine, because that's a list.
Continue.
And then, I take a shower, get myself ready for the day. I just make sure I feel like my feet are on the ground, and then I move. That's pretty much my morning routine. There's really nothing else to it. I'm a big I'm a big believer in less is more. I think a lot of times in my life I felt like more was better.
Right.
As I've gotten older and so more sober, balance and less is more makes more sense. I need to find balance, and I need to move through my day accordingly. So I have a level of pause.
Okay.
So I need pause, because I'm a very I think I'm a magnetic, charismatic, energetic human being. So that could get me in trouble, especially with my anxiety, right? So I need to find ways to have a pause, because not everything in life is going to go your way. Most of the time it's not. There's that old expression, make plans and God laughs, right? There's that expression, right? So I need to be prepared for whatever could happen, because I have no control. I'm not in control of I'm not in control of anything.
The line I give everybody, ladies and gentlemen, successful people are comfortable being consistent, uncomfortable.
Exactly. So the more I can be grounded in the uncomfortable, the better I'm going to have results.
Okay.
And the better the journey is going to be, right? So I try to get my morning routine to that. So it's journaling, getting myself grounded with some meditation, getting some food in my stomach because I'm a psycho and I don't eat, and the vitamin routine.
This is a health fucking show, brother.
Yeah.
I'm supposed
to go to the vitamins, so let's go to the vitamins. I take 100 billion probiotics every day. I take 2 tablespoons of sea moss every morning.
Okay.
I take a green juice, which I don't know if it's AG1, whatever. I won't go and say what it is, but those are the initials of it now at this point. I actually take Chinese herbs for my acupuncturist. So I have a one called buplerium. I have a kidney chi pill, and I have a ginseng longan. So I take that every morning. I also I'm a believer in functional medication. I don't believe in I'm not really a big believer in taking medication. For me personally, I think whatever anybody needs to do for themselves is important, but for me, I struggle with anxiety and also have ADHD, right? So I want to try to keep those as balanced as possible. So I take lithium orotate, which is a over-the-counter supplement. You can get at GNC or one of the vitamin stores. That's a 15 milligram dose. It basically all it does is regulate anxiety. It helps that. And then I take rhodiola, which rhodiola helps with ADHD symptoms. So it keeps me regulated.
Adaptogen
felt. So it helps with that, right? So that's the morning. After I eat my food, I take 4,000 to 6,000 milligrams of omega-3s. I take 2 to 3 grams of curcumin every day. Okay, so here, those will be a better way to explain it, just so I can be more clear. I'm doing this off the top of my head. I take probiotic, lithium orotate, Rosavin Plus, which is rhodiola. I take this stuff called Happy Saffron. Saffron helps with mood. It helps with sex drive. It helps with, it's very good for you, but it's you want to make sure to get a very, very good thing, because real saffron is more expensive than gold. So you need to make sure you're going to the right place. So it's good. My herbs I talked about, ginseng longan.
That's it. Performance matters for real, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I take 5 grams of creatine a day, which you would think, muscular. No, I want as much brain function as possible. Curcumin, 2 to 3 grams a day. Resveratrol, I've been taking 1,000 milligrams a day. I'm gonna reset that to start doing an NAD supplement, because to me it has the same effect. It's both anti-aging. So I'm gonna switch to that. I do 5,000 IUs of vitamin D3 a day, and and at night I take magnesium breakthrough.
Okay, so that's the supplement part. Now, routine-wise, workout time, how you manage it around performances, how many times you roughly perform in each week?
There's no average. I would say 2 to 3 times a week performing.
Right.
Directing could be more draining than performing because it's more mental than physical. But
ladies and gentlemen, it's tough to be the boss. Somehow nobody seems to want to understand that. They want to boss up until they see how much work.
Well, I don't even refer to myself as a boss. I consider myself a leader. I don't see myself as that. I don't like to. I think for me, the vernacular or the communication, yes, in some degrees I am a boss in what I do, but I do believe as someone who leads some team, it's easier to get collaborating from leadership as opposed to being like, I'm trying to I want to bring people together, right? I know they're just words, but to me it matters because I see my team as essential to what I'm doing, because putting together a great team and us collaborating what we all do great is what makes, I think, the product we make together great.
Let's try this a little differently then.
Yes.
Being the decision maker isn't always the easiest thing in the world, ladies and gentlemen.
For sure. No, it is not. It is not. Being the one to be making those decisions is not. It also is like a lot of being a producer and a director is a lot of times damage control. A lot of times, 800 problems, only finding solutions. You have to have patience. You're dealing with people, and you're dealing with personalities, and you're dealing with people having days, and you're dealing with, and sometimes the day goes 100% smooth, but that's not always the case. And it's learning how to be a person that can lead, so everybody feels led. It's helped me a lot with relationships with if I want to, being single at this point in time, in knowing what I want in those situations, I also know how to lead in a relationship, understand that better because I'm leading in that other way. Because it's like leading with grace, right? And not leading with an iron fist, was something that I find to be important to me.
Let me take this another way. You're somebody who does a lot of blood work, a lot of analysis, a lot of look. Okay. Talk about the benefits that's had for you.